This movie summarizes information from CoinMarketCap. And also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for future XRP news and some other coin news in general. Please look at this. Ripple has asked the court to set a date for them to submit their cross-appeal brief in the SEC case. Ripple wants to set the date for its cross-appeal brief against the SEC for April 16, 25.h1h. That means XRP Brief submits their cross-appeal brief against the SEC for April 16, 25.h1h. The SEC's ongoing legal case began when they made charges in December 2020. Ripple is challenging some parts of a court decision that supports the SEC about XRP sales. Ripple Labs has requested the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit to set April 16, 2025 as the date for submitting its cross-appeal brief in its ongoing legal battle with the SEC. This development shows that the expected time for the case to finish has been delayed. Ripple has filed a new court document outlining a schedule for its ongoing legal case. They want to finish a key report by mid-April. This request matches earlier calls from Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, and Chris Larsen, the executive chairman of the company, both of whom are key people in the case. The law team says this schedule is important for the company to respond effectively to the SEC's claims. This issue started in a case from December 2020, where the SEC argued that Ripple sold its XRP without registering it as a security. Ripple is trying to challenge parts of a district court decision that supported the SEC, making the disagreement more difficult. Last year, the court decided that some say because of this, Ripple was fined a large amount and had restrictions placed on its future sales. Ripple and the SEC are taking formal steps, with the SEC continuing its case and Ripple preparing to appeal. The SEC has already filed its first document as planned by the court. The exchanges in court documents reveal the tricky legal strategies both sides are using to navigate the rules about cryptocurrencies. Legal experts like Jeremy Hogan from Hogan & Hogan say that these routine requests are normal but important for moving the case forward. The result could influence how digital assets are controlled and viewed under U.S. securities laws, which may also affect the broader cryptocurrency market. Also, the changes in leadership at the SEC and the new ways of dealing with cryptocurrencies under the current administration could greatly affect how the legal case proceeds and is resolved. Yesterday, Ripple's lawyers sent a letter to Catherine O'Hagan-Wolf, the clerk of the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, asking for something. Ripple has asked the court to set April 16, 2025 as the date for filing its brief in the appeal and cross-appeal against the SEC, according to the letter. The council announced that Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen, who are part of the appeal, support this plan. James K. Fillon shared an update today revealing that Ripple requested something yesterday. Ripple cross-appeal summary. At the same time, the planned brief is about Ripple's cross-appeal. Keep in mind that Ripple made a cross-appeal right after the SEC showed interest in appealing Ripple's court win. Ripple's working to overturn a decision made by the SEC that said Ripple's sales of XRP to institutions were investment contracts. As mentioned earlier, the district court ordered Ripple to pay a $120 because these were classified as stocks, which met all the criteria of the Howey test. Ripple talked about its fair notice defense and its reasons linked to Rule 65. The corporation will explain these reasons in its appeal letter, which it might send in mid-April 2025. The court agrees to a request from the SEC that is similar. Remember that the SEC asked for something similar last year before it filed its opening appeal brief. The SEC asked the court to set a date of January 15, 2025 for submitting its main appeal brief, which is due on October 24, 2024. A week later, the court agreed to the request. Last week, the SEC submitted its opening brief. As the court schedule required, Ripple is asking the court to set a date of April 16, 2025 for them to submit their brief. A law expert thinks that Ripple will not appeal the decision. Jeremy Hogan, a lawyer who supports XRP and works at Hogan & Hogan Law Firm, said that the request is a normal process. He noted that the court allowed the SEC 90 days to submit its initial brief, just like it did for others. Attorney Hogan suggested that the SEC v. Ripple appeal might see an important change that would mean the company wouldn't have to submit its statement on April 16, 2025. The new SEC administration can handle the case by either settling it or dismissing it completely. Attorney Hogan has often stated that the Second Circuit is unlikely to make a decision on the issue, indicating it might be thrown out. Better Markets has filed an amicus curiae brief in support of the SEC's appeal against a key district court order from 2023. This means that the court fight between Ripple Labs and the SEC is still happening. Better Markets and the SEC think the court made a mistake by saying that Ripple's sales of XRP to regular buyers on exchanges were not against U.S. securities laws. They say that the decision incorrectly used the Howey test and endangered provisions for investors. In December 2020, the SEC sued Ripple, saying that the company, its CEO Brad Garlinghouse, and co-founder Chris Larson raised $1.3 billion by selling XRP without proper registration, but later found the company responsible for $125 million in institutional XRP sales. In October 2024, the SEC officially challenged the decision about retail sales. They argued that Ripple's marketing made customers expect profits, which means it meets the criteria for investment contracts set by the Howey test. Better Markets didn't agree with the district court's logic, emphasizing that XRP trades on other trading sites should still be seen as securities. The group argued that the judgment created a gap that helped big investors but left regular customers at risk. It highlighted Ripple's marketing strategies like using brochures, market studies, and engaging with the public,